Every single team has that one player whose presence can be felt from miles away every time he plays. A player that causes opposing teams to be afraid of him before even moving a muscle. On this video, we're gonna be taking a look at that one player who has the most aura in each NFL team. So starting right away, we have George Pickens for the Steelers. Since the moment he was drafted, we all knew this guy had some immaculate aura. From then onwards, all his amazing plays have only improved his case as he's proven to be one of the most talented players in the entire league. Moving on, Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills. He's been the best quarterback of 2024 and his presence is surely felt in the field. Allen has been great for a while now and I think most NFL players will tell you he certainly carries an aura whenever he's on the field. Up next, Justin Jefferson for the Vikings. Nobody actually questions his drip, but this goes even beyond that. Jefferson has been a trendsetter while playing and while not, having some amazing plays as well as being the center of attention for quite some time. He's just the heart and soul of this Vikings organization and he knows it. Now for Lions, Jameson Williams. I don't even know why, but this guy just simply has a lot of aura within him. I mean, even some Lions players have said it, but at the end of the day, on the field, I think it comes from the explosiveness of his game every single time he touches the ball. Moving on to the Panthers, Andy Dalton. It's not like there are a lot of players with aura in this team that has been all but good in 2024. Dalton stepped in and won his first start, so that is honestly amazing and surely counts, being probably the sole reason of him being on this video. Up next, Myles Garrett for the Browns. When he's on the field, opposing teams note his presence as he's usually making all the big plays. But even outside of the field, I think he carries that aura of just being a pure tank and an absolute monster capable of doing supernatural stuff. Let's continue with the Saints as Alvin Kamara joins this list. He's been consistently one of the best running backs in the NFL throughout his career and he isn't slowing down soon. Kamara has been carrying an immaculate aura ever since scoring 6 touchdowns on Christmas and that cannot be denied. Moving on, Will Levis for the Titans. Nah, just kidding, it's DeAndre Hopkins. Remember that clip of him in training camp back when he was in Houston? Well, that was just the start for him as his play on the field also supports his appearance on this list even though he is aging quickly. Up next, Malik Nabers for the Giants. He was taken in the first round and people were feeling bad for him having Daniel Jones as his QB. But hey, no quarterback, no problem. Nabers has been completely amazing and I honestly think he has more aura than the rest of New York players combined. Heading on to the Texans, Stefon Diggs. He's always been known for having some good drip outside of the football field, but add that to being an amazing receiver who also happens to be the one who took part in one of the greatest miracles in NFL history. Yeah, this guy for sure deserves to be on this list. Then we have Jordan Love for Green Bay. Being Aaron Rodgers' successor put a lot of pressure on him, but so far he's been able to pull through. Love has been the heart and soul of the Packers offense, and I think his presence is massively felt within Green Bay's locker room week in and week out. Moving on to the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield. He's redeeming himself because back when he was in Cleveland, he was just not that good. However, the situation over there was pretty bad, and he is now showing what he's truly capable of, being a great quarterback over in Tampa so far. Now for the Commanders is Jaden Daniels. Second overall pick out of LSU, we already knew this guy was about to be special, but oh my god, he has been superb. Daniels is single-handedly carrying the Commanders to success as he's having a record-breaking start to his career in 2024. Moving on, we have DK Metcalf for Seattle. He is just scary. Metcalf is one of the biggest and strongest wide receivers in the NFL. In addition to that, he just makes every single play pretty much every single time and he makes it look easy. The Seahawks offense runs through him just as he runs through his opponents every single week. On to the Bears is DJ Moore. This team isn't particularly impressive, but DJ Moore does have something special about him. He's been heavily underrated for a while now, but nobody can deny that he has the talent to be an amazing wideout and that his presence is always felt in the football field. Now for the Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. Being the son of one of the greatest wide receivers in history comes with its perks. However, even if we leave that aside, Harrison just carries so much aura every time he steps onto the field, and I'm sure defenses will soon fear him as much as they did his own father. Up next, Anthony Richardson for the Colts. His toughness is truly unmatched, and his explosiveness is something truly special. He hasn't been particularly good, but I'm sure NFL defenses still have a really tough time trying to bring him down, and that for me certainly elevates the team's morale each and every time. Moving on to the Patriots, Christian Gonzalez. He wears number 0, so automatically he's my choice for this team. Nah, but being real here, Gonzalez is also one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL and potentially the best player in New England when he hasn't even started a full season yet. Moving on, Pat Surtain for the Denver Broncos. He's been stellar for the most part of 2024 and he's pretty much the foundation for this elite defense. His presence in the locker room is undoubtedly felt at all times, and I believe he's already one of the biggest leaders in this Denver team. Up next, Derrick Henry for the Ravens. Look, there's a reason they call him King Henry. The Raven running back is one of the most intimidating athletes in the entire world that makes other pro football players look like children. He's just a pure menace for everyone, so that's why he's on this list. Then we have Josh Hines-Allen for Jacksonville. This Jaguars team is honestly worse than it looked in the preseason, so there isn't much aura there. However, the stellar pass rusher is still one of the best players in the entire league, and he's a hell of a player to be reckoned with. Moving on to KC, Chris Jones. He's just scary, man. Not only because of his size, but also because of the fact that he's always making plays. His presence in the football field is quite astonishing, and I think I can say with confidence he's the best defender over in Kansas City. Now for the Dallas Cowboys, we have CeeDee Lamb. He's been really good ever since he joined the league, but just recently he established himself as potentially top 5. Lamb has insane aura in and outside the football field, and I think there's a chance he's even the best player for the Cowboys. Up next, Khalil Mack for the Chargers. He is getting older now, so you probably don't hear about him much. However, I don't think anyone can deny how menacing he is for opposing offenses and how teams must consider him as a top priority whenever they're playing the Chargers. Moving on is AJ Brown for the Eagles. He is quite an intimidating player in all senses. Not only is he insanely big and strong, but also quite explosive and productive. He just makes the plays and doesn't elaborate further. Guy's a pure definition of a menace. On to the Falcons we go, as Kirk Cousins make his way into the list. Kirko is such a dad, and yet his aura is immaculate. Ever since that video with the chains dropped, he's been on a roller. God, maybe we could even go back all the way to the you like that moment, and well, you pair that with really solid play on the field, you get an amazing player with an amazing aura. Moving on, we have Gardner Minshew for the Raiders. You really thought I would make a video about players' auras and not include this man? Look at that hair, look at that mustache. He's really on his way to tear apart your team while looking like your uncle playing backyard football. That's the pure definition of aura. Now for the Jets, we have Sauce Gardner. Nobody can deny his drip and the amount of talent he brings into the table. But in addition to that, he's the kind of player that completely shapes the way an offense plays just because they are trying to evade him at all costs. On to the 49ers we go, Christian McCaffrey. He's been the best running back in the NFL for a while now, even surviving periods when people said running backs were overvalued. McCaffrey has been able to stay atop, and he just shows he's the best player in this team each and every week when he's not injured. Moving on, Joe Burrow for the Cincinnati Bengals. His drip is honestly quite good, and I think the locker room can feel his presence each and every day. On the field, he hasn't been as productive as before, but being completely real here, I think defenses still fear him quite a lot. Heading on to the LA Rams, Matthew Stafford. He has always been a really good quarterback, but ever since getting to the Rams, he's been on another level. He already won 1 Super Bowl, and he's pretty much the face of this franchise and has been part of 3 of the most insane receiving seasons in NFL history, being the quarterback for Megatron, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp in all of their record-breaking seasons. And now for the Miami Dolphins is Tyreek Hill. Being called Cheetah obviously helps a lot with his case, and being one of the most explosive players in the league also does it as well. Hill is just an insane football player, and I think there's no denying he has the most aura out of everyone in Miami. But hey, if you have some different takes, make sure to write them down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you stick around.